Are the Palestinians related to the Philistines? This is a question of continuity. Let's look at it from 7 different angles. The Palestinians feel that they are firmly connected to this land just as their Jewish neighbors. So they very boldly make this claim that they are the descendants of the Canaanites, they are the descendants of the Philistines. I would like to look at it from 7 different angles. First, is there a genetic continuity? The Leon Levy expedition to Ashkelon, led by the Leon Levy Foundation and the Harvard Semitic Museum, has been conducting extensive excavation at the site of Ashkelon between 1985 to 2016. The researchers were able to obtain DNA samples from the remains of 10 individuals who lived in Ashkelon during 12th to 11th century BC, which is a time period associated with the presence of Philistines in the region. The findings of the study suggested that the ancient Philistines were genetically distinct from the surrounding population in the Levant. The result indicated a significant genetic contribution from population from Aegean region. So one key observation was the genetic similarity between the Philistines and individuals from ancient Crete, supporting the idea of a connection with Aegean population from the island of Kaftor or Crete. On the other hand, the Palestinians, they do not share Greek Philistine DNA. Rather, the Palestinian DNA combination reflects their Semitic roots. Their DNA does not have any continuity with the Philistine DNA. The second question, is there an archaeological continuity between the Palestinians and the Philistines? Now here I want to compare the potteries. Comparing potteries is an important part of archaeology. The Philistines left behind unique bichrome pottery that is distinct from the Canaanite and Israelite potteries. Take a look at this beautiful pottery. These are from the Philistine regions. These ceramics feature distinctive red and black coloration and intricate designs, often depicting animals and geometric patterns. The Philistine material culture also shows evidence of influences from both the Aegean and the local Canaanite traditions. So this is seen in their pottery and in architecture and other artifacts. What about the Palestinians? Have they replicated or imitated the unique Philistine style of pottery? No, the pottery from the Arab conquest onwards, it shows Islamic motifs and calligraphy. There is a marked discontinuity between these two groups in terms of pottery evidence. Is there a racial continuity between the Philistines and the Palestinians? Philistines are presented in history as Greeks from the Aegean islands, particularly from Crete. They were racially quite different and had different features than those who lived in the land of Canaan. On the other hand, the Palestinians are not Greeks. They are mostly Arabs from the Arabian Peninsula. Others are from the same land, the Samaritans and the Jews and others. So the Palestinians are racially West Asian and Semitic. There is a definite racial discontinuity between these two groups. Is there a linguistic continuity between the Palestinians and the Philistines? Now, the language of the Philistines is a matter of historical curiosity. The Philistines did not leave behind any written artifacts. There is no inscriptions. So they must have been literate. There is an absence of Philistine inscriptions or other written information from the Philistine regions. What we have is actually, it comes from the neighboring regions. So some theorize that they must have spoken some form of Cretan language, which is known as Eto-Cretan. However, we don't have any specific evidences to verify this theory. On the other hand, the Palestinians, they speak Arabic. They have gone through this process of Arabization and they all speak Arabic. So the language does not share anything in common with that of the Philistines. There is sure a linguistic discontinuity because we know Arabic was not spoken in this region before the Arab conquest. Is there a religious continuity? Now, as for the religion, Philistines were polytheists. They worshipped the god Dagon. Dagon was a major god in the Philistine pantheon. And he's also mentioned in the biblical text as well as in the other ancient Near Eastern sources. Dagon was often depicted as a god of fertility, agriculture, and fish. The Philistine religious beliefs were likely diverse, with various deities associated with different aspects of life and nature. On the other hand, The modern Palestinians do not share any religious continuity with the Philistines. Most Palestinians practice Islam, which entered the region in the 7th century. There is a sure case of religious continuity. There is nothing these both people share in common in terms of religious expressions. The next question, is there a historical continuity? As I already said, the Philistines as a distinct group of people, they ceased to exist in Levant in 6th century BC. Their defeat and deportation under the Neo-Babylonians was decisive, and they never repopulated their cities in large numbers. They were supplanted by other people groups in the same region. The Palestinian identity, as perceived today, does not extend beyond few decades. If we go far back, it would go all the way to the British Mandate Palestine years.
Famous, important Palestinian in history.
Oh, yes, Arafat.
No, 200 years ago, 300 years ago, 1,000 years ago.
We don't know anybody from 200 years ago.
There is a glaring lack of historical continuity between Palestinians and the Philistines. Is there a geographical continuity between Palestinians and the Philistines? Now, ancient Philistines lived around the 5 major cities close to the Mediterranean coast. The land of Philistia was located close to the coast. Modern Palestinians, most of them live in Gaza and in the West Bank. So there is a partial continuity in this case. So as you can see, there is a discernible discontinuity between the Philistines and the Palestinians on several areas. Both are genetically different and racially different. One is Semitic and another one is Greek or non-Semitic. They do not share a common language. The religions are far different from each other. The Philistines and the Palestinians also have dietary differences. The Philistines were pork eaters. They ate plenty of pork, but Palestinians do not. So people have recovered a lot of pork bones in the archaeological digs and so on. The Philistines did not practice circumcision. Palestinians, most of them, they practice it. Ancient Egyptians, Canaanites, and Israelites, they all practiced circumcision, but Philistines did not. The only thing that is common between the Palestinians and the Philistines is that the Palestinians happen to live on the same lands where the ancient Philistines once lived. This does not constitute a basis to claim that the Palestinians are descended from the Philistines or related to the Philistines in any concrete sense. Thank you for watching this video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe and support our channel.